Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is Tarot with Kuka. I hope your week has fared you well. Last week we started off with some pretty intense energy about turning that magician around to make the magic happen or to get rid of whatever it was you felt that was manipulating you. So let's hope you were able to reverse that magician with some of the additional tools such as the moon and as well as the Ascended Master Serapis Bey, and some positive thoughts to turn that magician around and expose the talent that is hidden within you. So let's get started with this week's weekly read. As usual, I begin it with the intent of throwing up a collective message from the universe, from the divine source, as a guidance for this week. It may happen on Monday, the situation may happen on Saturday, or this message may resonate with you weeks from now, months from now. So I hope this message finds you well. And again, this is just for entertainment purposes, but again, it's a gentle guidance to help your growth as well as my growth. Again, I'm just in the process of learning tarot, so I welcome you along this journey with me. So let's get started. So the first card that I draw is from the Santa Muerte deck. The illustrations and the messages are based on our culture on the Dia de los Muertos as well as Santa Muerte. So I love this deck. It kind of goes along with the traditional tarot as well as encompassing our culture. So the first card that I draw is the situation that is at hand, and as you can see here, we have the Six of Pentacles. The Six of Pentacles, again, in tarot, the pentacles can evolve around your home, family life, or career. So the pentacles, a lot of people kind of look at this as, this is about my job. Again, it could be about anything that resonates with you. So what I like to begin with is from the guidebook itself, which includes a message that is the advice of the dead. And what I love about kind of going with that is, regardless of whether the card is in the reverse position or upright, the advice of the dead, I think, pertains to whatever direction that card is, because it is, again, I believe in the guidance of our ancestors that have passed on. So with that, let's get started. The advice of the dead is proceed with audacity and without haste, working hard and keeping yourself focused on the present, and what you desire will arrive within the time is ripe. What I love about that message is it kind of brings to something that started to resonate with me actually last week. It's about balance. My first So the thing about the balance is, right now we're kind of in this, a lot of us are in this worry mode with what the media is portraying with the COVID situation, or even the direction that our leaders may be going or may not be going. The balance to me is, I don't collectively worry about what's going on. It's not that I'm in denial, but what I am focusing on is what's within my circle. And so take a look around and look at your situation. And one of the messages that I got, and it came out of actually Matt Kahn's video about being in the moment and embracing the moment, is look at this moment, this exact moment, without judgment. And and at this moment, this is where you show the gratitude for what you have. This is also the moment where, if you're in a position of service to do something, this is about giving and receiving. But in the moment, there is no judgment. And what you are collectively doing at this moment is you're grounding the positive energy that will begin the healing process on a almost on a think big. You can think on a local level, global level, universal level. If humankind had the power to kind of shift their balance from this sphere to just being at peace with the moment you are in, regardless of what you see, it can collectively begin the healing process for the earth. I know that sounds like a pretty heavy topic to take on, and like I say, Matt Kahn actually really explained it, and I do recommend going into his channel, and I will definitely post the video, post a link to his video, so you could kind of understand what it is I'm trying to say here. So with that, I'm moving forward with the guidance in the sun. What I consider the guidance in the sun is what the universe is telling you to do in your waking life, actions to take while you're consciously awake. And so with that, we have the reverse of King of Pentacles, which is interesting here. So the King of Pentacles tends to be somebody who is in control of their finances and, career locked in. But we have it in the reverse position. And it seems kind of counterintuitive to what I have here in the middle, the situation for balance. You're looking at the King of Pentacles in reverse. And so with the King of Pentacles, what I picked up was that you're feeling stuck, and there's a lot of concern over materialism, finances, and I totally get it. I mean, we're kind of in a new direction of our economy, and changes in our workflow, changes in our work, whether we become lost our jobs, or a lot of worry in this area. And so what I'm looking at as the guidance here, in order, because it seems counterintuitive to be guided to operate in the reverse. So what I'm looking at is this, trying to turn this situation around to bring the balance. And so I kind of want to start off with the advice of the dead. Help someone who needs it and who asks for support as you can. Your reward will arrive in another form, but it'll enrich you all the same. So again, rather than worrying about your finances, worrying about where your career is headed, worrying about the future of your job, again, about the moment is service. And the interesting thing with this card is that the King of Pentacles is in the sign of Virgo with a little bit of Leo. Virgo, is hardworking, is about service. And, we're still within that week where I drew the last, the Moonology card that was about new moon in Virgo, about service. And it's kind of hard. Well, how can I be of service if I'm locked here, or I can't do this, I can't. Don't think about what you can't do. Think about what you can do. Even if it's just calling your parent or a loved one or a relative, or that social distancing of waving to a stranger. Be of service. And I love how this card already resonates with the guidance from last week, where it's just kind of pulling us into kind of a continuous growth of ourselves. And so and also the interesting thing is, this is the last card in our tarot deck. This is card number 78. It reduces down to number 6, about material concerns. And if you look at the Biddy Tarot book, it's about having a calm state of mind, peaceful communication, harmonious situation. So again, about bringing that balance of taking this worry and turning it around, and still and and where you feel you're in this hardship, being of service to mankind or Mother Earth, it can make you feel so much better and start the healing process, in which again, the healing begins with you. Your light shines through. You're healing another person by your gentle wave. That is infectious. And yeah, maybe that's a poor choice of words during this COVID situation, but again, there is positive with, how they say, your smile is infectious. Kind gestures, in turn, it grows, where this person, like, hey, I feel good because this happened to me. I'm going to pay it forward. So with that, let's move into our moon guidance, where this is something I consider, you sleep on, meditate over, or allow this to enter your subconscious for the guidance. So with that, I'm going to turn this card over. And as you see, I tend to touch my cards with my left hand because that's my receiving hand. So what we have here is the Knight of Cups in reverse. So here we are with two very strong court cards in reverse. And so, at face value, what I'm looking at, if I was to look at this read right now, I would say, yeah, the situation is actually my guidance to turn those around. But what I'm looking at here is that the guidance is telling us what we could do to turn our mindset around to bring the balance. So with the Knight of Cups, the advice of the dead is abound totally in your feelings and emotions as you're about to reach an important target, and no negative sentiment should disturb you. Don't allow emotions to get carried away. Be in the now. So with that, what I'm feeling is, especially with the Knight, how the Knight is just kind of like a strong fighter, so when the Knight card comes in, it's kind of a, I look at the Knight as somebody that's a protector, or, that fierce, that goes into the battle for you. So when you combine that with the emotion, you have this warrior, and now he's upside down, in which, you have these moody sentiments, this negative feelings. And one of the things I've always grown up with is don't go to bed angry. And so thinking about that, it's don't let your emotions overtake you in this situation. Just release that inner turmoil in a healthy manner. I've always been, how do I put this? Like, the one thing that where I used to give power to another individual was, if they told me that what I was, if I expressed my feelings, like I was hurt in this situation, and the response I got was, well, you're wrong. It was such a defeating feeling, because here you're expressing yourself and then you're told you're wrong. And so what happens is, like, I bottle my emotions. I went to bed with my angry emotions, and all of a sudden it's just like, it was like a volcano. You wake up one day and it's just like the same little trigger, and it's just like blah. And is that healthy to do? Probably not. I'm not saying it's wrong, but there are better coping mechanisms. We are all in this intense energy right now. You're homebound, you're working in stress. And so we got these two figures in the reverse position, and the situation is about balance. So what I kind of gather, just to kind of keep things simple, is literally be just in the moment. Don't worry about the future. don't dwell on the past. The past no longer serves you. It happened. I mean, my gosh, I mean, I used to beat myself up about every little thing I did, and until I realized, beating myself up didn't help me grow. It just built and compounded guilt, unnecessary guilt. So I'm not saying don't learn from your past, because what we go through sometimes is a lesson. What I'm saying is don't focus on it to the point where you're like, yeah, you know what, I'm not a good person. We are all God's creatures. We are all the higher power, the creator, whatever you call the source. I will utilize this. I call the source God, and in my belief system, God is love. God is, yes, God is the only position that can judge us, but at the same time, right now, God simply loves us and loves us for who we are. And with something like that being so vast, so beautiful, and who created this beautiful world, how can you not appreciate being loved? And so let go of the worries. Let go of the negative thoughts. Just cast them not out into the universe, but you can simply give them to God. God will, God is a source of love. So no matter what you throw at God, no matter what ugly you throw at God, God will turn that into love. That's where he defies the laws of physics. It's like you don't throw negative energy to, it compounds, where the negative energy grows. But in God's case, he wipes it out and turns it into love. And if we had mankind just all, instead of worrying about something that we can't see, let's embrace something that, well, maybe we can't see, but God is all around us. God is in our breath. And so with that, I just want to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, we are all in a moment. And let's just bring balance back to the earth and just bring that big sigh of relief and gratitude and ask the universe, what can I do to help? What can I do to bring love? And you'll be surprised, the universe does answer. And so with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to wish you love, light, and many, many, many blessings. And I will be back with some additional videos with guidance from our Ascended Masters, positive thoughts, as well as the moon. Take care. Peace and love.